potentially a lifeline.
All right,
No
Gen.G on defense, Wolves on attack.
But Gen.G,
A lot of ghosts, only the one sheriff for this one. Wolves keeping up with their pressure of the B wall, and they throw the smoke down. You're pretty much going to see this every single round.
Because this puzzle has been solved. We've seen it before. The desk.
Interesting. Gen.G at the beginning have their own smoke, and they just insta-pop it when they pop their smoke. But this obviously does mean that you can kind of just take a timing. Gen.G at the moment are incredible at pistols. It's a 11-3 pistol record. They just keep winning pistols. They're actually just too good with the sheriffs, to be honest. I think their win rate when they have sheriffs is like 11-1 or something crazy. Like they just win every single time they have sheriffs. It's mad. They're just too good with it.
Goes back up now, stacked up reinforcements here in mid.
Nelzinho, hello mate.
Good,
hello. How you doing?
Seeing it here.
Unlucky in the tournament, bro.
Looking solid on this, and we've expected this sort of pace from Wolves, right? Slow, cautious, methodical, very clear-cut, very precise in approach.
Okay, grabbing it over towards heaven. Doesn't hit anyone. 2 over towards sight. It's not too bad for Wolves. Texture kind of needs to pop again.
They've given up a lot of space though, and there's not that many rotations.
Yeah, Texture really needs to pop. Body shot.
Texture left on his island, still going to get 2 so far. Looking to make it a 3rd.
Oh my.
13 seconds! This guy is just out of his mind!
A great Omen flash from spawn. They are too good with sheriffs. They really are. Long range, lot of body shots, just takes the 2. Sometimes you can tank the ghost shot as well for the 87. My goodness. What a beast. He's too good at pistols, man. He really is.
Certainly discussing.
And again, their actual pistol record, if you just look at when they're getting the sheriffs, it's mad. It really is.
The lack of pressure, really.
Mono, Bovo, Foxozo, 31. With the Prime. Thank you for the 2 months, dude. Thank you for doing that. I think I got your name.
Well, just coming back to that discussion on the deadlock. Talk about how you don't really want to say all in on this first wave of utility with Teo, but certainly deadlock, a tool to slow things down beyond that. Not necessarily removing the...
Do you think the win rate with the sheriffs is down to individuals or problem with the weapon? I wouldn't say problem with the weapon. I would say they probably have the best understanding if you look at positioning, and I think they have some absolute beasts for the sheriffs. Do I think they always play the long range and are exploiting the fact that people buy too many ghosts? I do.
You kind of know that Gen.G is going to get a good start.
Marigold Milk with the tier 1. Thank you for the 27 months. Thank you for doing that.
Not going to find too much. Obviously, the extremity dealt with by Texture and Caron. I mean, not going to leave it all to Texture. He's a name in the mix here. Obviously, Gen.G, it's a bit of a highlight reel.
That's a great shutdown over towards middle on this one. We've got 2 armory buys, that's it. And they went pretty low on this one in terms of buying, so their bonus is going to be great. If Texture gets 1 more kill, it gets his all.
Slow starts here, and Gen.G clean.
A really nice start. I think throw away these guns, buy up is probably what's going to be happening. You could also go aggro over towards B main. Try to get this ult. It's crazy with the tier 1. Thank you for the 3 months, dude. Thank you.
Texture able to farm up.
Thanks number 9. Thank you for the 29 months, dude. I appreciate you sending that as well. Thank you so much, bro.
See early learnings here to find from a round like this. How Wolves choose to navigate beyond that. There needs to be obviously pressure across the map. They want to weaken Foxy9's ability.
Okay. It's a decent bonus for sure, and this is a good sign from Wolves. They play very methodical, to be honest, and if you look at a lot of their games, they do like to just chill out a lot. What we call a Fnatic default, just wait 15 seconds for any kind of push.
Very early on. I like this from Gen.G. Not afraid to make
yeah, this camera is super strong. We've already seen some like nice micro stuff. Sonic Sensor last round, this camera is really strong. See over towards heaven. See close here.
Presence shown on both sides of the map with Gen.G. So
the interesting thing from Wolves is they actually like change up their wall. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. Maybe from the last round and how heavy they were holding over towards middle, I'm not entirely sure. Does block vision, does create pressure. Now a double vision block if you pop the wall in theory.
There's a lot of pressure on middle, but Foxy9 is up to the test.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. the problem from Wolves here is like they didn't really follow up with their util. They didn't take any space with here. And in theory, they have a great comp for pick in middle, right? Boombot, Prowler, Tether, Fade.
Gen.G looking so refined in holding this.
Yeah, that bait and switch in mid on the back of the Prowler. Executed to perfection. Wolves almost left scratching their heads now at the buy round. Probably feeling as if you want to hold on to these rifles here. You want to see on the mini-map, Spike not committed anywhere. Not even going to look for a kill here. So a big win for Gen.G with the bonus.
They just got to save. Well, it's an armor rebuy, and it's 3,000. You can't get much better from this. Gen.G, especially against Fnatic, could have been part of the game plan to not make sure they get ults early. They've been opting to save a lot instead of like hunting when they could do damage. More than any team I've seen. This one makes the most sense. I don't think this is a good example, but like going forward, you'll see even in like in the rounds when they have loads and loads of money, they're just making sure it's at a good level, and they want to make sure that the other teams don't get that many ults. They don't hunt that much, I guess is what I'm saying.
Very kind of hard-hitting, simple Valorant, right?
Alan, thanks so much for the Prime. Thank you for the 22 months. This is an early timeout, and all they've kind of really seen was the fact that this just loads of pressure over towards middle. This wasn't good from Wolves, so I do think this timeout makes sense. Like if they want to force through this over towards middle, they've actually got to get the timing a bit better and actually make sure that they use the util at the same time as forcing through.
But off the start, Spring and Lysa are the only ones who've been able to get even a kill thus far. It's been quiet. The map feels like it's not even a 50-50. A lot of extremities are under Gen.G's control.
Yeah, and you don't want to see Wolves coin flipping on some of these scenarios. You want to see them come in, reinforced, and
straight away. You didn't even have to type that stuff.
For Gen.G, but they haven't really figured out where they are just yet.
No, it feels like they couldn't quite get that grip on how they want to approach middle. I mean, we saw Juicy kind of go in there almost solo through the smoke and gets dealt with, and that felt like it fizzled around. So
okay, Texture now has the op out.
Of a very direct approach from Wolves.
You only really have one agent to push off. You got a Boombot though, double vision block. And this makes a lot of sense from Gen.G, right? Especially if you're looking at what Wolves have been doing on the other games. Wall over towards his smoke here. So setting up the Neon close, or what they probably wanted to do as well was the line that is like over the smoke, which is like how most teams approach this.
Still two members for Gen.G,
Wolves
and Karen
are changing up their original default. You might see them go back to their normal default, like 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 rounds in. Pressure over towards A, they lose A heaven control, and we see it drone down towards middle. Kind of creates a bit of pressure that they're getting over towards here in these spots, and they just want to see numbers.
Maybe fact find further. Or do you assume they're all there? Texture, you don't, no.
Oh, what a shot that was, by the way. He got wrecked.
5 HP and he's still breathing. But it shows that there's still a default in play, right? That's pretty indicative that there's pressure.
1 minute mark, wall goes down.
There's still more going on here. This presence in ramp has drawn the rotation now.
It's at least a wall that they could punish behind as well, right? Got to be out in the open, committed to shoot it.
Send an extra body.
There's a wall where you could omen, flash, swing, etc.
With where this trap placement is, have given up mid. Got to be aware of vents now.
4-person stack over towards A, and his Texture with 5 HP goes and clears all of B main. Hey, how do they win these draws? Ash probably still wins this though.
They don't know about it. Gen.G simply having numbers. Spring still fighting forward. Wolves in the 2v2. Rotation on the way. But it's Karen. Left, right. Takes down one.
He bullets.
So the follow-up, Karen is on it.
That's convincing, man. Nice hold from them. Very nice from Gen.G. Shout out to Texture. Low HP showed a lot of confidence to hold B on their own. Heavy rotate over towards A. Especially once that wall broke. Gen.G, yeah, you got Texture with 4K. Karen with 4K.
Stands his ground here. Finds 4 on the round. The second 4K for Gen.G. Unfortunately, another situation when it comes down to just 2 not able to sync up. Get a unified swing onto site here. Fantastic play from Gen.G. Wolves now back down to all but 1 sheriffs across the board.
These 1-1-3 approaches. They're tough.
Yeah, Munchkin gets the judge up, punish over towards middle. Got some sheriffs, it's looking a little rough for Wolves. Especially as they got to go up against a lot of money, and the op's going to be a nightmare.
I want to see them try and get in their faces now. Aaron, this feels like rinse and repeat, right? But there's no flying
good Omen
Juicy
flashback.
towards the site.
Yeah, on the back of actually the paranoia invested there, there's not really going to be much behind that. So a big win out for Gen.G on a lesser purchase.
I mean, the one
benefit. 1 HP, by the way.
I guess there is that small benefit.
So we said like 5 rounds in, Wolves will start relying more on their default that they're used to. Dude, Foxy on 1.
This isn't the round to make the most of it. This might be another moment for the man here.
There's a good chance for Wolves here. Like if they can actually get the trade on this with Foxy being low. This grab net's incredible though. Really stop this. Oh, nice shot though. Maybe. Spring can get the op.
20 seconds. Someone's got to go above and beyond for their side if they want a chance in this one. Spike's knocked down. And this slow creeping death with the judge is coming in from Munchkin. You got 10 seconds. They have to make their move. Munchkin now knows the player nearby. That judge is lethal.
Spike planted.
As Spring got to try and clutch up. It ain't happening. Gen.G.
It's a nice shot, man.
These guys look so
Yeah, they look really on.
So drilled today. When you got Texture and Karen delivering on opposite
He's got me in Lysol stand-up. That's sick.
To do. A lack of inventory in this round.
JYD, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you.
He's just happy to stand his ground here. Actually, a miracle almost that he shut down what he wants. A well-placed headshot by Spring, but not many positives for Wolves to build upon here.
No, but they got a buy round here.
Really,
they got a buy round and they put their Vibe wall back over towards a...
sort of victory in the early round in terms of util drawn out or a trade.
Yeah.
Somewhere across the map because Gen.G are just winning everything.
And it feels like Gen.G have got all the right kind of
I think Raze or Neon is better for split. I do think Raze is better, but it's not like I dislike the Neon. And the Neon's fine on it. If you got a good Neon and he wants to use it on this map, like I'll be fine for making it work.
Man himself, Texture is over here. This guy, again, absolutely miraculous performance. Gen.G re-clearing towards ramp. And we know the pace coming out from
big duel at middle here as well at the same time.
And now here comes the fight. Already Texture can't support here, denied by the cross. Already Foxy9 just holding that corner, and it feels like these kills are untradeable. How many times we've seen Juicy go down and not have support? Spring is there.
Wait, Mill's crazy right now as well. They just missed the timing on each other.
To swing onto that.
Michael, thank you so much for doing that, dude. Thank you, man. In the YouTube chat, appreciate you, dude.
Will equalize.
Pretench as well, thank you for the 13 months, mate.
4v4, but 45
big
seconds,
shot.
Looking for another win for Wolves, really, but it doesn't come. Texture finds one. Munchkin now with a judge shut down.
Did incredible damage though. Look at the HPs, 1444.
If their temptation is to rotate through towards B, which isn't a bad shout, they still need to get this spike through vents, through middle, over towards B, and you can see that maybe Texture's going to try and mirror that. If it goes silent towards A, that inkling is it's going to be this B hit. But look who's waiting here, Karen. No slats by any means. Hello. No.
Not this again, man. What was the game that we saw that? I feel like it was Trex, right?
That should never have happened. Caron just given the gifts of the kingdom. Look at this guy, just the keys left out on the table. There's the support from Texture. 8 seconds, and it's confidence from Texture. He's playing with him. He's toying with him. And maybe you should respect him. But look at the
he missed the ult.
And actually, a gift. A chance.
Oh, it's close, dude. It's close. It's such a mess up from Wolves. They're melting. You gotta clear that. Dude, we saw the same thing in EMEA.
The Lysol TP leads towards maybe being a little rattled here, the nerves getting to Wolves. Obviously, we're talking about elimination, but the stakes
was it Sugetsu? Yeah, that might have been it. I was trying to remember who it was.
Almost a jump scare for Lysol. Again, the difference being, look how quickly Texture's happy to swing onto this to try and bail Karen out. Second timeout pulled here before round 7. Like I said, is feeling a little
double timeout. Yeah.
Maybe looking
coaches. I mean, mad respect to the coach. This is very, very early for a double timeout, but they mistimed a lot of stuff over towards middle for his first timeout. Right, the spacing was pretty bad. Util was pretty bad, and then this one, Omen ult didn't check back his sight. Like you can tell that his team is crumbling, and he's just going to be asking to just see normal stuff from them. Comms good, doing all the fundamental stuff, doing all the stuff that he normally sees, because it's a bit of a melt at the moment.
But nobody wanted to commit. They're curious what the comms are there, of whether or not somebody's not stepping up to the plate, but again, it's across the board right now for a team that has come to Toronto and almost become a fan favorite off the rip.
And rightly so. The way they were playing, it's hard to not enjoy watching them, right? You started to believe in it a bit, right? It was that like, okay, we've got another great team coming out of this region, cool. Let's see how far they can go. And it has been a bit of a miracle so far, that dream run, right? And now it feels like they've met one of the giants. Now they've taken down some big teams on the way, but Gen.G, you're looking at these
Leo
guys,
just
honestly,
made a tweet about the fussy advantage. Leo Faria? Oh, guys.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they're bending the knee to these people.
Time out, Mike. Maybe.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Well, but again, it's
have to look at that.
To have to pull the trigger on that in round 7. Let's talk about both timeouts being done in one half.
Again.
Just who's behind that?
Yeah.
What's the utility? Where's the layering?
No, it's the util. It's just like
of this peak.
And that's hard for Juicy as well. Like, I'm not expecting him to be able to just like clean swing middle and be able to, you know, do what he needs to. It needs everything to set it up in motion, but it's just not there. And Texture, not enough this time. Gets taken down by Spring.
Able to actually deny info off that trap. This Texture caught completely off guard here. Lysol considering a bold move, actually.
Oh no, but
no.
Munchkin caught off guard as well.
Munchkin caught sleeping at the wheel. Lysol wants this
one. Ooh, okay.
Forward for Wolves. Two big kills.
Trying to do redemption for the Omenaut. Done really good.
Karen's been really dangerous though.
Hold to secure it. What do they do with the info?
Spike planted.
Missile going, double swing.
Probably double swing.
Much better.
Nice round for them. 4 surviving as well. Not too bad at all. Money's good for that.
Thank God for that. A little more proactive, but Gen.G caught sleeping on 3 separate occasions in this round. Credit where it's due to Wolves for dissecting this B site hold, but that started with Juicy falling for free in mid. A bold maneuver from Lysor. That's reflected in Munchkin's reaction to the situation, or lack thereof.
Enemy remaining.
The Wolves able to drag this one across the line.
He's up.
You can see on the other side of the stage still smiles.
It's
a long tweet. I'll have to read it a little bit later.
Good to see it being punished. This could maybe curb
it is a reset if they can win this. Obviously 1-9 loss bonus, but
when Juicy falls, you can see it's almost like oh god.
Early wall over towards the middle, and you got the smoke just stop it as well. It's a one-way smoke, so you at least know that the reinforcement from the wall comes in. Drone to set up the op to the angle. Yeah, and I will say that Texture's done a great job of just being everywhere. Like if you had a heat map at the moment, it's just all over the map.
How many people are about to come out of those sewers? Do they clear it with the Prowler? I think that might be in hand, but the timing.
The temptation to almost sit on that rope there and just hold it.
This Prowler's good though. It's really good. Nice work.
Okay, they know that the op set up over towards here. Worst case scenario, he's at this angle. Might be somewhere a bit more aggro.
Not even heading this way. Thinking that's enough of a fake.
Yeah, but okay, so they know there's 3, yeah.
Gen.G on this side of the map. They're trying to get through heaven, but look who's waiting. Foxy 9. Buys the time. Take a seat.
Oh my goodness, imagine Mateo being a little bit closer. It was almost deadly.
Numbers still looking unfazed. 35 seconds. The time's going to start running low.
Oh god, he didn't even move his crosshair. That was crazy. 3 all headshots.
Doing this one after the other. We've seen Karen do it. We've seen Texture. Now Foxy 9 puts his name up in lights.
Yeah, they got to save. They need that one gun because of the loss bonus. One can't buy in terms of Juicy.
15 seconds. The spike is in Narnia.
I swear he didn't move his crosshair.
10 seconds left.
You can see the amount of stall invested to this setup. We'll get a chance to look at it once again, but Wolves figure out where the operator is in this round, and just the obstacle course laid out by Gen.G. So many things for Wolves to deal with.
Yeah, you can stand up for that one. Yeah, that one's good. That's solid. I mean, this does feel like we've got kind of the 2 fronts of Gen.G working here. Individually, yeah, they're hitting like a truck, right? This again, beautiful control, but look at spacing.
I mean, yeah, that's the first time to actually see
someone trying to swing
in a position stacked
insane,
up, ready to try and deal with somebody.
Dude, they're just taking turns at getting 4 kills now as well.
Well, you feel like you're hitting a literal brick wall.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, okay, cool, we're going to try and trade in, get that spacing right up. Okay.
In a game of numbers, you still want to put yourself in those positions.
We'll say as well,
speed up on this, but Munchkin joined by
something that maybe we haven't spoken about much is this tournament especially. Gen.G are very good at it. Lot of phantoms. Like a lot of phantoms.
Filling the gap towards middle. And if they
It-
take
it-
their
it
eyes
is
off
the
ball
better
for a moment,
gun.
Foxy9 pulls
It's
their
just,
attention here, and they're so confident.
sometimes
Look at
the-
this
sometimes the
they're getting
Vandal just
punished
feels
on this
great.
confidence. Karen is still holding the site. No. Okay, the paranoid didn't land.
Well, actually, it comes down to a 2v2, but a lot of time to work with here. Pit actually will expire over towards A, so now Munchkin in a pretty rough spot. Potential here for Wolves to pinch him.
You think down the road
Lovely.
people will learn how to shoot the deadlock
Lovely.
trips? The deadlock trips are pretty strong.
What?
That's bold. That is
And
very bold.
people aren't
to leave
great
somebody
at playing against the deadlock
behind
yet.
them now, Karen.
It still has that
A lot of ground
still has
to
that
cover
like
to regroup here, but
inexperience
look at this,
where
actually stack
it
up
gets
towards
probably
main.
more value than it
Looking
should
for a
just
safe
because
plant from Wolves
Yep.
and a very
it's not common.
post plant here. Plenty of time to set it up. They don't necessarily know, but the pit will enable that.
Yeah, I think they actually need to take the space with this. Yeah, it's hard though because the plant's not good.
Munchkin's already controlling the site. The other side of this.
player
not
Ooh,
gonna
what a
get
kill.
That one done a little too far. But Karen now closing in as well. Both of them now kind of on the other side of the pillar.
And still smoke spike to create pressure, but
Do here a couple of smokes, but that's about it. Timing is everything. Spring
Okay.
first to fall.
A
So
Viper
does the
peek
pit, and now
fast.
Karen's got a real chance at this. See if Fat Baby's gotta clutch up here for a chance here. The nerves now starting to show here. What are you gonna do? No way. No way. Nicely handled.
he handled it well though. He's been good in clutches. He has been good in clutches.
Second round for Wolves.
Everyone
He's
will
just out
fall
here
with
giving
a
it.
second on the board, nonetheless. Not necessarily a sigh of relief in terms of the finances, but certainly in terms of this scoreline. Another example here where the trades come through quick enough. Like I said, comes down to a 2v2, but Wolves able to stabilize
Doria,
a
thanks so
little
much for the
bit.
2 months, dude.
That
Thank you for that. I
smile.
appreciate it.
7-2. Come on, can they recover this? This feels like there's still something here, right?
Yeah, no, I
Maybe a bit of
agree.
that confidence starting
It
to
feels
build.
like-
Maybe a bit of that
it feels like they
backing
could get
yourself. Maybe Wolves aren't
a
done
pretty
yet.
good score.
They kept the buy humble. Look at Munchkin. Look at Ash. Bulldog, Stingers. They've given themselves. They've carved out a little bit
Deeper
of room
wall,
here
but
for
you can
Wolves.
pretty much break all of this safely,
They have
so
the ult
I
ready
don't think
for
this wall's
Juicy,
great.
One away from YU.
Bring them
Couple
down.
of options now.
Let's slow down the early rounds, much like the start of Split. 4 over towards B main here. Munchkin and Karen tasked with controlling this.
Well,
Karen had to give away the game. These horns
Yeah.
have been really nice.
have, yeah.
Genuinely, really, really nice. The ult.
Oh?
Juicy, what happened?
What
I don't
happened
understand
here?
what happened there. I hope we
don't-
catch you on a
did he
replay,
try
but-
and
oh God, no,
did he
no, no,
try
no,
and
this-
shoot
this-
at
Do I wanna
heaven
know?
to get the deadlock?
I'm actually left back with the not again. Foxy9 swings in, gets 2 and
Oh
Ash is
boy.
there.
Dude, they are
Tap
melting,
into
chat.
the
They are melting a little bit. Let's
Well,
see what
the
happens
showstopper's
with
got
it.
Somewhere, certainly not the intended placement.
Let's see
I'd
what
hope.
actually
I'm watching
happens.
for this replay.
I mean, the Viper obviously chips in, the Viper smoke chips him
understand
down
how
a
it
little bit.
Karen dealt with here.
Oh, that's rough.
I mean, that's rough.
Okay.
I mean, down to 1 HP because of decay taking effect.
And this has been a really hard
Yeah,
game.
you're
from
kind of
0
far
to 10.
away.
Like that's that, and these sort of moments weigh heavy. They weigh really heavy on a duelist player who's used to be able to take in that space, being
He's looked
explosive.
fantastic here as
Yes, and to have a downturn in performance like this feels really harsh. 8-2.
But did
Can he
you want to
pick
try
himself
getting more
back
over
up? Big
towards
question
default?
here. That judge could be lethal in the middle. Munchkin.
well. We can see on the
Ooh,
X-ray.
you brave boy. Oh dear.
Looks,
It hit the deadlock ult?
towards
That's not a
Sewers.
thing, is it?
Munchkin will give up the space temporarily, but tucks into Mail now.
Didn't it just hit
Texture will be-
this?
Foaming at the mouth here. What, but actually, swing
I
and a
think
miss
he
on the
literally did
first,
like
but
two
Wolves looking
damage
for
to him.
springboard on the back of that.
Like might have hit this.
Looks to overwhelm the operator. Obviously with an Eon, it's tough to really pin him down after that first shot regardless if he hits or not. But 50 seconds now. Still Ash here able to slow down any progress towards A side. And even further now, the utility causing lots of problems for Wolves.
Not the best. It's not the best smoke.
One here. Here they come. That's the
30
first.
seconds left.
Foxy9 gets the second. Foxy9 is just cruising through this game. Sadly, the purchase obviously in this round was far from perfect for Wolves. Trying to make it work with what they had, just Sheriffs, maybe a little bit of hope. But Texture still just controlling the site, making it difficult here. He's feeling that pressure, getting closer. 10 seconds, they're going to work for a block. The spike gets dropped.
Yeah, I mean, Texture's decision making here is great. He's so insane with this ult. It feels like he absolutely melts people. I know they have less armor, but so fast. He's great at tracking.
Texture again delivering for Gen.G. Foxy9 as well. Two crucial kills for him to kind of keep that pressure away from Texture on site with the operator. Staring down the barrel, at least a purchase here in round 12 for Wolves. But potentially looking at the best scenario being a 9-3.
Texture headbutt the Viper smoke. Oh, okay.
Third, but you've got to add into the equation. Gen.G good on the pistol.
Certainly not feeling good about that one. But
I know, I mean, they're getting wracked.
Yeah.
They're getting wrecked.
That would definitely be
fair amount of rounds of Gen.G doing good, fair amount of rounds of Wolves just messing up.
So he's starting, what, 6-0 in this half. Both timeouts used. A long road back ahead of them in the second half.
I want to try and clear ramp control again. We've seen that kind of different tempo from Texture, aggressive, now sitting very, very passive.
Almost now playing with the idea of where is the operator, right?
Yep. They're making it hard.
Yeah, testing this default. Now they know. Juicy again, another first death for him.
Feels sacrificial at this point, but there's no benefit for it. Spring trying to slip ahead here. He's actually done really well. Completely unexpected. Spring finds a bit of timing.
See, this is kind of what he was doing all the time on this map. Just finding timing, opening up the B site, creating a lot of pressure. They moved away from this a lot, maybe because they thought they were going to get antied. Maybe when they saw the Viper smoke here, they wanted to change it up.
And player advantage.
That's it, make that an even further advantage. Now just a 1v4 for Ash. Revealed. Not even getting that first.
Very nice.
Shut it down.
Is it doable?
A 9-3 half here.
It is doable. It honestly is doable. If they get a pistol, maybe.
Like I said,
you're saying no? I'm believing more than I have in other halves. Let me do this before we get wrecked. Lead is always meant to give us bangers. That's true. This has been pretty one-sided though. If they don't win pistol, it's just for sure done. Cypher attack side, yeah. They moved away from what they were comfy doing, because they normally do the Viper stuff. What's the Leo tweet? Do I still have it up? Yeah, closed it. What's Fan City saying?
Let me hear you.
It's a long tweet. It's basically just saying they believe the advantage is substantial. There isn't enough like data really, because it's just a small amount. There's other factors like meta that changed it all as well. I'm doing a video on this as well just because it seems to be a pretty hot topic at the moment, and I do kind of get both sides of the argument, but I am pretty heavy sided that it is a good advantage and that teams just messed up. But I do understand that teams believe heavy in momentum. And it is definitely a factor. Like it's proven that momentum is like a huge thing in the game.
It felt like Wolves found a couple of ways forward, but it felt a bit too late in the day.
Certainly did.
Yeah, I'm doing a video that hopefully will persuade some people that most of the seed ones messed up, at least in their original game.
Obviously see here with the econ report from Coinbase. Again, with a scoreline like this, tough to really take away many positives, Lauren.
Yeah, and I think
do you think that the meta change has an outsized impact in this tournament? The meta changing is pretty much the whole tournament, to be honest. It's one of the reasons why Wolves have got so far. Their read on this meta is better than
riding on his shoulders.
over
like I
half
said,
of the
there's-
teams in this
I mean, we
tournament.
discussed this, right? It's fine. if
That's
Julius
where
goes one
that's
on
why
12,
they
but
are where they are.
If
Getting the
he's dying
sights,
on
if he's
sight
doing
and
his
you
job,
forget and you're following through, absolutely
Emmy
fine
Bealey
by
with the
that.
prime
That's
pick with
not
the
the
3
case for
Thank
Wolves
you,
here in the
thank you.
first half.
I think RRQ
But
had a
those 3
pretty
rounds
rough
give
read of the
a
meta.
couple of opportunities.
I think they
The
only really
issues
took a
begin,
risk
though,
on
with
one
the
map,
pistol,
which was
Mike,
the
because we
Haven,
talked
which they
about
did
this. I
pretty
mean,
good.
everyone knows it.
Yeah.
I think the
Gen.G
XLG
statistically
and
are nuts
RRQ
at
moving
this
away
rate.
And
from
also when you can take into
moving away
consideration
from
converting the bonus
Yoru
and then
when your
3
main
rounds
duelist was
behind
fragging
that
so heavy on
in
Yoru
the
and that was your
first
win
half.
condition doesn't make any sense to me.
Beg
There's loads of stuff.
that Wolves
I think G2 and Fnatic
maybe
misplayed
define
one side of
success
one
here
map,
if there's
which cost
any
them heavy.
hope of recovering split.
Gen.G 1-0 on the pistols. Oops.
Just making it
Oh
harder
god,
for
it's
him.
comboed with the nade.
6th man for Wolves right now. slowing down
It's deadly.
that progress towards sight.
But again, it's an early tester.
Okay, and
Well,
they
they
saw
actually
them
make it out
walking
pretty-
out
I was
here,
going to say unscathed, but
and they
59
do get
did
the
crack
info
on
over
that.
He
towards
did.
heaven,
Drawn
so
an extra body, but still mid firmly in control of Wolves. And it's almost actually the
okay, the call is to go back over
timing there
towards
was
here.
actually perfect on the minimap if you
Yeah.
see when Spring
Yeah.
decided to head back over towards B.
They got no nade, there's a sheriff.
Going to be hard as Juicy on this side of the map.
Pretty much
Yeah.
down to aim
Right,
from
this
Wolves.
is the
Obviously, they
time
got
for
the
him
wall that will
to-
help them.
If he gets a good start here, that could just bring
Oh.
it back. But
Why?
YU,
Naturally, yeah.
lovely,
Yeah, that
and
was,
that's so indicative. Finding
that was nice,
texture
man.
there,
Just
feels like
spammed
there's
them down the
gotta be
whole
more,
time.
Right? There's got to be more players behind
Looked like the
this.
first 2 bullets hit.
Spring slowly coming back over as well. Gen.G trying to work in the dark almost.
But down to 30 seconds now, you'd almost hope that even though Texture falls there,
30 seconds left.
you'd want to see Gen.G take advantage of that.
And Juicy still able to play into this, and the cross is being watched. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
for
they did
Wolves.
good, though.
A 2v3 though.
Foxy
Numbers
low
still
also.
looking good for Wolves here. Denied the springboard straight through heaven, but still.
Still got
wants
a
to be in for Gen.G.
Prowler to clear,
Prowler goes
yeah.
through
And then they got
close,
Fade
doesn't
Eye
find
for
too
sight.
much. It's Paranoia, if it's well placed, could be perfect. And maybe a trade out here. Yeah, it is. Lysor gonna send him back. Foxy Knight
Some great
wants to
util
get
at the
it
moment
back.
from Wolves there,
Lysor
so it's
takes
nice
it
from
down.
them.
Maybe a chance here to build this game back.
Hey, good white swing as well. Okay. Honestly,
Exactly what they needed.
I might be on board.
First tick in the box here
I might be on board.
to try and mount
I
this
saw some
comeback
convincing stuff.
is the pistol round for Wolves. Like I said, well navigated initially here. Well,
Dude, that
backwards,
stun
that
so
was
funny.
great as I said that,
The
but
stun into the nade is rough.
Gen.G able to get back into a position, but you almost expect, even though Texture falls kind of blind through the wall, as soon as Wolves see that in the kill feed, the fact that it's Texture,
Yep.
they know to try and get ahead of this hit. And
We
actually,
need that. You
one
can
of the,
see it.
yeah,
Look at it. Look at the difference in them already.
one of the few examples where actually, even though it's a 1-for-1,
Oh
2-for-2
boy,
as well.
I'm a big fan of this though. Let's hold up a little bit. Good news at least is the Wolves bought pretty heavy into this one.
Any further threat?
The thing is they got to go up against the hero stinger.
Quick paranoia and a quick
2 people
pace.
over towards
They wanna
site.
try and
Imagine you
pressure
get a
this
1-for-1 trade,
problem
pick up that
early,
gun.
straight towards heaven.
Pretty devastating. Here we
So
go.
they're committing. Texture's down. Ooh,
I
Lysor,
did
bring
good,
it away
though.
from him.
Spike
No
down,
support
B.
there, though. Could
Just
they
get
make
one
it?
and you're fine.
Let's see if that BB's in a really good position, though. Yeah, lovely catch. Easy. Now he's kind of left in a bit of trouble here. Karen going to pick up the
Oh
signal.
no,
Wait,
Juicy went in.
Munchkin just brought out the classic on Juicy. It's a 2v2. We're still at a minute. This has been fast and furious. The plant going to put the time on Gen.G's side. And Munchkin, careful. These corners contain problems. Spring trying to pick up the pieces.
Ooh, okay. Okay, not too
Spring
bad. Survived it.
stay
Wasn't
in
super
this.
convincing.
Gen.G looking to get a little fruity here, catch Wolves off guard. Almost did, to be honest with you.
I like the idea from Gen.G,
And
to
again,
be honest.
You can't ask for much more when you go for
No,
commitment there to the stinger, but
God, it was this that played
Yeah.
nervous. That
Enemy
2v2 at the end of my, oh my days.
there's also the fact that see if that BB doesn't actually swing against the Bulldog. It's a little awkward there to commit to that
Could have
peak
been,
down
yeah.
into hell.
Yep.
But that could have been a disaster. The fact that he kind of waited a little deeper on rafters.
Okay, the
second
low
on the
buy's
board,
not
regardless here for
great.
Wolves.
Interested to see what this is.
Again, almost looking.
Yeah, I was gonna say
back to
one's
the proofs
overbuying
here
too
in
much
terms of
into
the
this.
purchase.
Okay, that's not too bad, the bonus.
Still alive.
What did Gen.G want to
The
do?
scoreline can't stop
Like this, he
being
goes
brought
close
back.
to create
Right,
pressure with the
Gen.G,
smoke
they
as
go
well.
for
Could have
it
gone
here.
over towards the
Juicy,
other side.
brilliant,
Damn, nice
brilliant.
opening
The
kill. That's
confidence
really
being
good.
quelled now. Munchkin taking
And
a
that
solo in
aggro
there,
over towards B meant
towards
that
A and gets punished.
that Foxy
Well, 12 in the
hasn't got
first
as much
half,
space
but
as he was getting
certainly
normally for free,
he's
right?
in
Normally you
there.
go over
Happy to
towards
stand his
B main
ground
with the
here.
grav net and then put the trip here.
The second half,
This
and
time
that's
he's more
very
passive. You could
active
actually just fight
clearance
this.
here.
There.
So some
Take a
good
risk.
stuff from
Smokes.
Wolves.
I have the spike.
This is fabulous timing. This could free up the additional player to hit the rotate. Depends on Ash. I mean, still, full kit of util could clear this. Timing then becomes everything. Still about a minute.
Early
to play
trip
with him.
over towards A. Wait, this is a really nice bonus from them. They got a lot of good stuff going on.
And I guess, yeah, confirmation of 2 players. Why you now will be called upon.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure
You
on
got a
them
trip
there.
though.
TP taken. They're already through. This is going to be a plant.
That's fine.
Less.
Yeah, you guys can play
Trying to
together
spray in
though.
here, hoping maybe catching someone trying to get up towards that heaven side.
let's
This
see what
is
the
still a
retake's like.
bonus for Wolves, but of course that scoreline is such
Probably
a
just about doing
heavy
damage on
weighing
this one.
factor. The plant's now in for Gen.G.
Juicy down
Worth
to
noting that Ash
5
has
HP. Does have
1
the
salvo
regen,
up,
but
so he
still
can
not
delay
really
pretty
gonna
heavy.
keep him in a comfortable position here if he does decide to commit.
But if the util goes right, Mike,
Yeah,
they've
it's a
got
late rotate
Pain
on
Shell,
this.
they've got Haunts, they've got Paranoias. They need to disrupt the back line 1, and that's how you do it if you're Gen.G. It's back-to-back damage.
Yeah, it's nicely done from
making
Gen.G.
it look almost too easy.
It was
Lysol
almost
can't even
pretty
make it
good
through
from
CT.
Wolves.
There's so much utility in his way.
Aware of
Gen.G
the potential
suddenly
spots, Flash to
stopped
swing out
tracks.
towards here.
And that's, he will keep 4 alive here. So much cleaner in their victory in the second half, sorry.
Yeah, Gen.G will be
Yeah,
super happy with
purchase
this one.
not
They didn't do
quite
too
there
much
for
damage to him.
Wolves. You have to come back in now, and ultimately it's going to burn up pretty much everything.
Oh, what is
in
that
the
though?
bank, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Don't need to see him.
I mean, what do you do? Again, see kills come through like that, and it's really rough for Wolves and frustrating
That's
as
unlucky.
well.
Got to keep their heads up, though. That was a bonus round, right? If you're looking at it traditionally, that's not the worst thing in the
Okay,
world to lose out
deadlock.
on. This, though,
Deadlock
cannot go
all.
the same
No,
way.
no.
Not, then it becomes 11.
Same thing. Again, I really like this from Wolves. We're doing the smoke here, and
Juicy,
then
at
you're doing the
least for-
fake TP. You run forwards a little bit so they can
Other
hear
than
it. So you
the,
think you're over
disaster
towards
in the
here.
first
So
half, building
again,
towards the
Gen.G can't do
showstopper.
their normal default on B. It's like really simple,
get
but it's
it
very effective at the
in this
moment
round.
in terms of this pretty
Chance
much
maybe to build towards
Gen.G
it for the next
normally
nickel
have for
purchase
free.
is lacking. Gen.G firmly in control of mid this time. Maybe one actually
Avid
dip their
Armadillo with the
toes,
4 months. Thank you
see
so
what
much, bro.
was going
Appreciate you,
on
dude.
early on in the previous round.
This kind of rolls back to that discussion on the desk as well. There's none of that real cyclable utility.
Another one?
And Juicy dominating over towards A again.
Yeah, Munchkin once again. Maybe showing a lack of respect, but
This could be huge. See that baby. If he's read this right, if they've got this right, he's in trouble though. They're coming.
Just got him though. That's okay. He probably did enough.
Oh,
Or that's not what you meant to do, right?
From the grave near on. And now Lysol watching that cross. This is a good position. Commits, catches, punishes. Second,
Ooh, what the hell?
Outstanding. He's done his job here. The rest of the team now in support. Karen has no opportunity to play in from here.
Hey, nice though.
30 seconds
1v4
left.
spike.
Very, very nice. Let's
Over
start looking at
towards
the
hell.
money. Reset. There should
chance
be
of him
everyone but
having
one
a
that
say
can
in this
buy. Yeah,
round.
one can't buy next. So
You
one
touched
person
on that
takes
from
the
the
hit,
desk
or as we
as
can
well.
see,
Almost
Karen
feels
just
like,
saves
yes,
and they
the
get the full
concern
buy.
being there's no second
Alright, this
wave
will be 3.
almost. I think Wolves maybe
by this can
reading
drop.
into that perfectly in this scenario. But Gen.G had to almost commit
10
behind that.
seconds left.
And I do want to see when Gen.G decide on a timeout, if they feel like they need it, right? Because so far, I feel like Wolves have, I don't say a grip on this half. They've
Well,
had
certainly
a,
a
good
course
start. They've got
correction here.
Yes, they've got a very good read so far. We're seeing them approach this perfectly. We've seen Juicy winning out his fights
Wow.
over towards 8. How much more is he going to keep doing that?
Do Gen.G now decide to maybe try and feed into that a little bit? Just in the nick of time there to find Foxy 9.
It's adjustment from Lysol. I really like the fact he just dips down, catches the cross, knows that pressure coming from heaven. He takes the gamble that's not going to come from
Straight
Kane
up.
at the time. I like that. Starting to see a bit more decisive.
Okay, big
confident
rounds.
plays.
Big rounds. Oh, a lot of this is
Not
interesting.
Munchkin
A lot
out
of
there
light
on
armors
zone
for
again,
Gen.G when they had the option to go
Well,
for
that is
heavy.
gonna
So even if they do lose this, they might be able to buy a lot more into the
Okay,
next
pace.
rounds.
Name of the game. At least to look to kind of imply pace.
I'm
See,
nervous
actually
for him.
almost anticipating somebody slipping ahead of that utility spring. Not spammed out though. Gen.G very curious about this mid hold. Once more.
You're looking at the
Joshua,
salvos
thank
now
you so
that
much,
burn
man.
by Ash.
Appreciate the
Still
prime.
has the
Thank you for the
drone.
3 months, mate.
Once that's gone, you've got to be really committing that where you need it, right? It can't just be used lackadaisically at this point. Again, I like this from Wolves. Good control towards middle here.
Yeah, the Prowler timing with the
Time
smoke up is
starting
very
fast.
good. They pretty much don't get too much for this smoke. Gotta refresh it.
Now
Right?
clearing through with the drone.
I'd like them to bring an extra body back towards B, though, because it feels like this is the right read from Gen.G.
Okay, Wolves got to go proactive. It's looking like 2-pass and push over towards B. Oh, I'm worried for them with the Omen Flash. I'm really worried for them over towards B. Here comes the backup in terms of Spring. Does he get her in time? Yes, he does. God, what a kill that is. Yeah, and they just have bad positions on site. No way. Is he live?
A 3v2, and look at Texture's HP. It's low, but the plants are coming in. The paint show gets thrown through. Denies that quick springboard in. And now let's look at the post plant. Where do they decide to hold?
Ray's util's wrecking him a bit.
One backside
into nade.
towards Pillar. YU needs a bit of impact off this. Doesn't get what he wants, but Juicy slowly stepping forward. Nice for YU. Crying out Ash from the corner. But a complimentary post plant now. Texture spotted. YU misses, and Karen finds Juicy. YU, this is a difficult situation.
That's a great reposition from Texture. Kind of missed it though. Not a good plant. Oh, it's a good try, man. It's a good try. That's probably the round. That's probably the round they would have done.
Rough turn of events here, because
very patient from Gen.G on this.
Maybe bouncing off the wrong wall here from Juicy, because should have all but sealed the deal on a kill here on the plant. I see FatBB stands his ground for as long as you could hope for in this situation. That's the fact that you even corrects on that one. It's Karen, safe pair of hands, still standing for Gen.G. Will deliver the 11th.
Yeah, Wolves want to change it up and they wanted to punish
if you're looking at Juicy,
Foxy trying to do his default over towards B.
See where they're approaching. That's the ult now online.
This time they okay, I like this.
A bit of a different look coming out from
Means that they struggle to clear over towards middle if they want to fight this back. And no one broke the drone, so they at least know there was no one here. And they didn't see anyone over towards heaven, so they feel like they create enough pressure over towards middle that there should only be 2 over towards A. But you can see on the minimap they like pretty much keep going to the site where it's weakest.
But they've been given
I mean, Cypher's got to do everything. Oh, he's so dead.
Oh,
he did incredible. He did incredible, and Spring got another. Wait, they can't get the spike.
Foxy 9 and Ash, how are they going to get back to it? Ram's guarded, it's controlled. You've got Spring waiting here. Bucky in, and he gets the shin, but that's not enough.
Together, boys, together. Hold that. Shot.
Holding on for dear life.
Gen.G are a little quick to get to
yeah, Gen.G got an eco. There's only one person that can buy. Dude, back a side killing 2 here was insane. I thought he was done for.
Break the crosshair placement.
Spike down A.
But actually, it's Spring to actually pick up the backside of this execution. Like I said, Spike falling on rafters, a disaster for Gen.G. And finally, we'll force the timeout here. 11-7 the scoreline, and Gen.G have to take a breather, take stock of the situation, because WOL certainly putting up a fight here in the second half, Lauren.
They really are. Considering the amount of rounds they had to come in with, they had to go against the odds literally of picking up just a
spike. Yeah, he messed up a little bit.
And now they built on this.
But did he use his Omen ult? Or was that the defense Omen ult?
And maybe starting to exploit some of those problems that Gen.G were having up against Fnatic. This utility cycle is still an issue.
Yeah, I mean, you made that comparison to the first wave and how Gen.G almost you'd lean towards if Ash isn't the
stand-up, yeah, the stand-up's good.
Right, the one to kind of sell something.
Who's the defense one? Oh, okay.
Wolves know
then yeah, he just kind of messed up.
Something behind that util.
Fruit. Sorry, mate. 28 minutes ago, I missed your sub. I did say hello. But can't win everything. Thank you so much, Fruit, man. Appreciate you, dude.
Potentially 4 members of Gen.G looking to follow through in it, but adjustment here from Munchkin over towards A, who's not found any value up against
force him down to an eco. And it's a good chance for Wolves to get some more ults online, but honestly, they got the main 2. They do have the main 2. We got Karen all online as well. Could do something crazy if he wants to. Doesn't feel like he will with the buy that I'm seeing. No armor on this, so should be an easy round for Wolves.
But we haven't really seen Wolves trying to go to that yet, really.
Should be easy.
Again, good reactive play off the back of the utility investment. And this is quick, though, from Ash. Already the drone going to come through. That's going to instantaneously spot the player up towards vents, that being Spring. Foxy 9's got to be a bit careful there. Yeah, does manage to back away towards sewers, but gives away position. Now there's a lot of additional support here.
It was close there and getting seen, yeah.
There on the readjustment.
Cam got a lot of info though, that's a lot of players now noted. Surprised we don't see an additional body, but Fat Baby doesn't seem to be fussed. Doesn't seem to be upset about it. He holds the ground well, readjusts up towards heaven. Still has full kit here, keep in mind.
Extra trying to find something, but Wolves not really giving anything away just yet.
How are Gen.G looking in terms of ults?
Against
They're not
this
too bad.
purchase.
Ult to potentially get him over towards site. Ult to win after plant. Do some kind of combo with this as well.
Still being shown
Right,
by
could
Juicy,
clear
who's
over
got
towards
his
backside,
ult,
TP
panic
backside or
stations,
something.
right? He can best that. Still got one over towards site as well. There's the player noted. Spring
The
can't
grey
do
molly.
much to deny this. Gonna get
The
good
Great
chip
molly,
on the
yeah.
cross, and there's
Did a lot
Juicy
of
now
damage,
being
and then
rewarded.
they
That
got
could
the
be a
kill on
one.
that.
Done. Juicy doing
And
well. Good control,
Juicy.
good confident builders here.
He's been having a rough time with the util, but he got
Gen.G
two.
not finding steps
Got
forward.
two with the util.
Faltering almost on the way. Looking to thread the needle and find those timings.
The ult, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I do think with the scoreline you probably should be a little bit more passive with it. But I think if you're just considering their money, and the coaches pretty much just said it's okay to ult if you're low money, then I get it.
Back in on the purchase here for
But
Gen.G.
yeah, considering the score, he probably should be
What
chilling.
they've discussed here. Said the Snakebite just catching. Was the paint shell to good use as well. Gets the reset, actually. Slow down, maybe separate the remaining members of Gen.G. Yeah, certainly looking towards the value of that timeout now. That gap all but closed. The hard work's already done in terms of the comeback.
Look at the switch up as well from Wolves. We've got, what, 3 players playing middle. You've got the switch up of the Cypher util 2 over towards that B site, leaving just one. That's going to be what, Lysor over towards A. Is there a really big read into maybe how Gen.G want to approach this?
I think Wolves almost anticipating something off this drone early or Ash's utility.
My God, are they
Free
just gonna
passing?
shoot down
Oh
in
boy.
middle? Oh, this is so bold.
Oh, this is scary.
Ridiculous, and it works!
Nice. It's just a 6-passing duel, and they win out.
After a
All
disastrous
3.
first half.
Dude, there was
Gen.G,
not too
they're
many
gonna be on
bullets
the
hit on them.
ropes.
Going to be kicking themselves because
It's
they've
a
been
big
allowed
buy
to
rounds.
sit
Big
behind
buy
these
rounds. I
smokes
like it though.
time and time again,
Wolves, they know
then
they're up against a
re-explore
lot of ults.
themselves.
They want to go a
It's
little
been
bit
Spring.
proactive, so they want to
Tough
fight
back
over towards here.
intervention.
Drop of the smoke,
This
duel.
time around, the grand
All 3
reveal.
holding strong. Dude, this is a
Half rate for
50-second
Gen.G.
save on this one.
Left to hold on to these 2 rifles.
2-9 loss bonus for money.
Feels like
Everyone
an
surviving
eternity
gets
left on the clock.
1,000.
And this scoreline, Mike, on the half, what was it, 9-3? It felt like it. I don't want to say impossible, it's just
1
improbable.
minute save is
right? You
insane.
talk about
It's the right
percentage
choice though,
chance.
because especially with the
Now,
run that just
even after
happens,
the
like
first couple of rounds, you're probably not
the
that
money's
far in,
incredible
right?
for
I hate
Wolves.
to
It's
say
not
it,
like you
but
need to
it's
do any damage
a
and scoreline
9-3
wise.
half
It's the
versus
best choice.
Fnatic as well.
Oh no.
Here on Split.
Bloody hell. That went, what, OT? Fnatic got
Feels
across
like
the
a-
line.
A bitter dream repeating itself here, potentially.
Yeah, this suddenly does
10
feel like we've got a
seconds
game.
left.
Like
This
the
is kind of a
scoreline,
timeout.
I'd say,
Yeah, they can
suddenly
talk for a
becomes
while.
Such
Yeah.
a different looking beast. You're now held on 11, right? You haven't been able to break through that. You've been kind of
I think actually where Gen.G, wasn't it like 11-7 or something? Where then
I'm like, oh. And Wolves are looking more and more confident. It's not just the fact that the scoreline is getting closer, but Wolves look good doing it.
Yeah, it's nice.
catching it there. Like I said, this is so heads up from Wolves, reading the situation, but it's on the back of, I don't want to say a gamble, but I want to say guess to what Gen.G are doing early on.
Nice.
Here.
Okay,
It's
this
only
is still
really
a
been
this
the
is still a
drone that's been
horrible
shown.
buy. Like
So
it's horrible to
set
go up
piece
against.
towards mid
Strong,
that
strong buy.
Gen.G have
Look at the
displayed.
minimap. Got a
Here with the
3-1
Stingers.
or 1-3-1,
Yeah,
and they want to
looking
go
towards the
fast
pace
over
change
towards
here.
here.
Lysor gonna have his
Lysor needs
hands
to do
full.
work.
If Gen.G
What is
fully
this?
commit
All
here
into
off
Omen
rip.
ult or something?
And it looks
Flash
like
close, all back of sight, all like
so I'm waiting to
this.
see how much Lysor can do. This is so much for him. I don't know how much he can even live in this situation. He's going to stick on site though, going to try and play towards pillar and hope the support comes in.
Lysor
through heaven, and it
tanked a
is.
stun, but he has a smoke to hide around. Fade ult, just hit one, that's it.
But it's still going to be Lysor.
They have to find him.
Lysor!
I did incredible. Nicely done, dude. Dude, the passing back of A keeps getting 2.
So perfectly, and he's still alive. 15 HP, still breathing, finally goes down. Munchkin giving them a bit of life here. Down to him and Karen to make this one work.
Nicely
It
done.
ain't happening.
Omen ult
Karen
out of
now
them.
has to
Viper
back
ult
away
out of
what
them,
the
right?
boys
Oh
have
no,
to be done.
yeah,
Look where
Viper
the
out of them.
spike is. Wolves, with just one player basically on that side of the map, held that down.
Another situation, 45 on the clock. Karen has to hold on to this rifle.
Prize
I
possession.
mean, what are Gen.G doing there?
They look like they're smacking into a brick wall. They don't know. They don't know what
able
they're
to
doing.
Yeah, no, Lysol
all the
owned them.
sightlines into
Lysol
sight.
owned them.
Again, I didn't actually
I
track
do think with the
Foxy
strat they were
No's
doing
YouTube,
that
but
I
if you're
think
using that to
Texture
stop
should
the
be
peak
ulting
coming
there.
out from
He
heaven.
definitely had
So
ult for this.
isolate a site player. Pit goes up towards screen. Lysol able to just exist for way
I
too
saw
long.
his smoke on sight was the
These
one,
are
right?
frustrating
But without
rounds
this
as
smoke,
well.
he
You're
eats the
Gen.G,
stun, he's
right?
dead.
You are great at this. You're
So
very
this
clinical
smoke
about
here
it.
is really, really strong.
For the switch. You're normally very clinical about these site takes. You know your protocol list very
10
well.
seconds left.
They are not getting that right now. They are making some misses here,
Ion,
which is
thanks so much for the
surprising
prime.
to me.
Appreciate the whole
We talked
year.
about Wolves being rattled in the first half.
Gen.G,
Now,
see,
seeing
I'd be
something
tempted
very
to,
similar
I know it sounds dumb, but I'd be
Gen.G here
tempted
in
to
the
do
second.
exactly the same again. I do feel like A is weak, like it's just one
Away
person
now.
getting 2
Look
kills.
at that
If it's a 1-for-1
scoreline,
on most of
11
these
to
rounds, I think
10.
it's different.
Are at the door
So I would be
now.
tempted to go A again
How
here.
is Lysol allowed to live that long? As you said,
Oh, wow, well, Juicy finding
Okay.
this kill as well. Certainly doesn't make things better, but unfortunately Munchkin put in a really, really tough position to try and potentially pass the
looks
spike
weak.
off. But Karen's so disconnected, waiting for
Yeah, it is a
somebody to
classic,
drop down
but
and then
honestly it
pressure
does.
into their own pit, but it just doesn't happen. It almost looks like he's just watched this one passing by from main, to be honest.
it's getting tense now. The second timeout used by Gen.G.
And the crowd
They love it.
starting to build behind them now.
Hope is the dangerous thing, and Wolves are certainly igniting it here. As said, winning hearts and minds throughout this. The underdogs, the whole way through. Through Swiss, they look lethal. Here, they've kept that up. Now, it's one thing to have a close game against Gen.G. It's another to beat
close
them.
out. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah, very
Certainly
true.
done the hard work, but they have to get this across the line now.
There's ults still here for Gen.G as well. You've still got 3 ults. Actually,
Ults are here,
pretty
but
impactful ults as well. Foxy
yeah, I
Nines,
think this is
Textures,
the
and
Viper
Did see
rounds.
Spring actually collect
How would the
orders whilst
aggro
they
A have
get
gone
available
here?
from Wolves, so
I mean, the
they
aggro
could
A would
close
have
off
been
the section of the map.
absolute money. What is this from Wolves? What
Kick
is
things
this
off in
called?
round
What does this
22.
read?
There we go.
Actually going to put white.
Yeah, especially if the Raze shows early and the Omen shows
Into a
early. Might
spot.
not think there's a
Actually,
Cypher here as well. Early
They might
camera
even
as
play
well.
into
Trip.
this. He's
Most of
also
the
got a
Eaters going to
one-way
get hit
set up ahead
fast.
of this.
The only thing that can really reveal it is what? Going to be the drone? And Ash is
A little bit
using that
worried they
middle.
might do a
They've already
tail and
cleared
follow
this.
it up, and he's going to eat the
Still in a
tail
very
though, but we'll
comfortable
see.
Position. So Ash pressuring towards heaven early.
He's not going to get, and there's no way. He's going to get played in here perfectly.
He keeps his cool and he delivers.
Damn,
on
Lysol
goal
sprayed
again.
them all down through the one-way as well.
The dream
Dude, they
is
had a
very
great
much
read on
alive
this.
for Wolves.
And just
Four-person
like that,
heavy
another
lean over
round is
towards
over
B.
for Gen.G.
Look at the time. 1 minute 13. The outcome is determined here.
Karen's still holding on to this same
Another,
rifle for
yeah, it's
4
another,
rounds
it's
now.
another save.
Back
This one
to
has got an
spawn
extra
we
20
go.
seconds on
Again,
top of
this
it.
composition falling short. The drone invested towards middle. Nothing else to reveal that. And why you great.
Yeah, and they got
call
the
for
they got the
This
ult out
is
of them.
exactly the recipe of a sort of setup that would cause problems for this composition.
Coach? Nah,
If
that
the
feels
drone's
like it's
not well
down to coach, to
invested,
be honest.
They've got to put a body on.
It looked
Yes,
like they
to
owned them in the
find out
timeout. We'll
where
never know
Wolves
for
are
sure,
playing.
but someone had the great read.
They've done their homework today, haven't they, Wolves? Figuring it out. They had recent tape. They looked into it. They found ways to make it hurt.
They did this exact
These
tail
two
ult
final
strat
players,
on
Gen.G, I
B
mean,
yesterday. Damn, we got
you
the
gotta
anti-stratters
imagine
in
Tom's
the
can't
chat
feel
as
good
well.
right now.
Yeah, so
gotta be tense
it's
as
a
hell.
read off
Just
their
had your
ults.
timeouts,
And
but
Gen.G
it
did
is
play
all
this
down to
comp
IGL, the
when
boys
Teo
on the
was
stage
strong.
itself. They have watched this
I
game.
can't remember who they played,
slip
but they played this comp
away.
once before
They were
they
at
actually
the
came to
door.
this
Now
event. So
they're
maybe
inside
if
the
it was
building.
like
It's 11-11.
3 ults, they all went over
Tables are
towards
turning.
B
And Munchkin
100%,
having a
then
similar
you can kind
struggle
of
that
Yes.
Juicy
have
did
these
in the
stacks
first
like
half.
this.
Unable to really have a say. Have
So yeah,
any
might have been
input,
the
to be honest with
ult
you.
read. Definitely.
As Wolves
Definitely looks
now
right.
will tie things up. 11-11 here on Split.
Oh my God, as if they could take the lead in almost the final hour, right? In the final round near on. Now
was
we're
against
down
Boom?
to the
Yeah, that's the game.
real lower end of the purchase. Dude, that was the start and end of the round. It felt like, as said, this was beautifully handled. Lighter working in brilliant unison with him as well.
Damn, that
Just
one-way
leading on
wrecked
his own.
them.
It was perfect.
I mean, you can see on the replay as well, just walking into an absolute blender. Gen.G can't really do anything, but because they're so invested, the casualty's too great to recover.
Yeah,
They learned
this
their
is like one of the first
lesson.
time where
Now
they've
they're
actually been able to
approaching
get
now.
away with this, right?
Front of line,
Their
maybe
classic
late space
grav
being
net
explored on towards
into
B main.
sonic
Util
sensor.
going in, but
Kind of
Gen.G
means if you want to
a test of
reclear
their
this,
metal here.
it's very hard,
Wolves'
right? You're gonna
confidence
get
will
wrecked
be
by this.
sky high.
Like it's a great default, but
quell it.
again, Wolves
They
did so
break
much
their
in the
hearts
beginning
in
of
the
the game.
final
It felt
moments.
like Foxy at least felt like he
Need to
couldn't do
react
this.
correctly.
They started going more leaning towards their mid default, where he's
Scary,
putting it
Mike.
top of mid.
It's all been scary. We're living a nightmare right now for Gen.G. Unable to really get themselves over the first
Yeah, it might be
hurdles
the
of some
Neon
of
ult
these
round this
rounds.
one.
It's just predacious approach once again towards this mid hold, which has suited Wolves down to a T. We've seen them once just clean sweep behind this smoke.
Got these ults still. Got so much to bank on, but they're going back for this B split, this 3-2. 3 players from Wolves over on this side.
3-player lean from Wolves.
Not be sliding into the
This trip is huge, by the way, as long as no one overpeaks. Like this trip is getting a kill.
30
See
seconds
the
left.
tension, it's literally palpable here. Here comes the hit. Do they survive this? Texture goes in, gets the job done. Spring holds the line, takes down Foxy Knight.
Is it getting a kill? Wait, he got that? Damn, what a beast.
Texture, it's on Munchkin.
How is everyone on site getting 2 kills? Spike towards heaven, 10 seconds left, double holds. What do they got? They still got nades.
8 seconds. The time.
Nade goes out, you can't even get this spike, it's done. Holy bro, Wolves, what a comeback this has been.
Taking the lead in the final hour.
just the gift that keeps on giving.
And Spring got them all as well, they're just giving it.
And they clean up the round. Nothing for Gen.G to take away.
Wolves are
from
beasts,
round
man.
23.
Wolves are
Ults for
actually
Bert as well. They've
beasts.
got nothing left to bank on.
It's just fantastic.
Dude, I can't believe he got a
to
double
see
on
Wolves
site
step
here
up
as
to the
well.
plate once more.
How many
Oh wait, was there only
heroes
one?
does this team have?
Oh, it's double on
Those
heaven, okay, that's my
two
bad.
up in heaven felt like it was a gift. Catching them on the way down. Unreal stuff.
Fade looking like he's born
Okay, one
again
chance.
in the coaching booth.
Hold on. It could still be OT. They have not got across the line yet.
Yeah,
Gen.G
and this is
with
still a
one
nice default for Gen.G.
chance
Like
to
that.
just
The problem is they
keep
have to
up in
create
this
some kind of
war,
pressure over towards A,
snatching
you would
away
feel
that
like.
12th vote.
Change of the trip
So
from
shook right
this
now.
one to
Look
a
at how
little
the
bit further
second
back
half
makes
has
sense if the
panned out.
Neon's kind of doing this pathing.
YU once more firmly in control of B site.
Lysor over towards A has Omen
one
ult for
player,
fast
not
rotate if he wants
necessarily
it. If the Cypher gets
painting
a
a clear
kill and there's
picture,
no like
but
fast trade, he can
bouncing
pop
down
his ult
mid.
as well. It's really hard for Gen.G.
So Wolves still
1
aware
minute
of
mark, they haven't really got any
potential
any
here
map
in the
control
drone.
apart from
Again,
B main.
Almost now.
Drone
becoming
goes in,
Gen.G's
vision block.
downfall in terms of
Still here though, they know no one's
telling
followed
Wolves
this up.
what their intentions are.
It's a heavier lean from A though.
Haven't
Like if we
really
actually look at the
seen
minimap
it
right now,
employed as
Gen.G are in a pretty good
misdirection too
spot.
No charges.
There's no info gather over towards
Makes it
A.
sound favourable in terms of
So,
numbers here. Only 2 members of
Yeah,
Wolves.
with that info we get the
Maybe
rotate
has to
going
respect
out.
this and-
Oh
no.
boy.
How's he? He's dead and buried. Texture looking to do it all himself. He has to.
Let's see
Spring
on
holds
site
it
what you
this
got,
time.
man.
That
You're on
B
your
side
own.
now
30
looking
seconds
vulnerable.
left.
Can he hold on to this? YU's been good. This is a lot of pressure.
What an
Good
Omen flash.
paranoia.
Dude, it's an
He
incredible
takes
smoke
space
to
off
hide
the
on
back
site
now.
as well.
Here they go. Lysol. YU.
No way, Lysol did good, and this smoke on site saved Ukro as well.
Again, left with 10 seconds, and not much more. As this is a dream.
Ah man, it was a sick game. It was a sick map, dude. 9-3. 9-3. We said with a pistol they might be able to do it. That was awesome. Absolute beasts, man. Really good from them. What a run, what a run this is. Again, I strongly think they have to 2-0 this, but this is the first step.